Have you ever wondered about the history of your people? Have you ever questioned your cultural origins in America? Do you feel comfortable and confident about the knowledge of your ancestors? How well do you know your cultural identity?
I say I don't really know much about my cultural identity.
Because Asians seem to be underrepresented in education and through history.
These students and many more feel the need to learn about their history. One way is through education and schooling.
So cultural diversity is an important factor in understanding people's values and ideas. One thing that's a problem that is always occurring today is that people don't know their own self-identity. And that's a problem because we believe that the California state standards don't cover enough of Asian relations to the United States. So in the past year, the San Francisco Unified School District just approved a new curriculum set for ethnic studies. How much do you think they spent the budget on for that? Or what do you think the cost for their spending on that curriculum set was? Out of about $113 million, how much do you think they spent on it?
130. I hope it's 30 million, but I know it's a lot lower. Maybe, hopefully 5 million?
It was actually about $243,000.
Oh.
Yeah.
Oh my god.
Yeah.
How sad.
Only 2 out of the 11 state standards in the 11th grade United States history class mentions Asian relations with the United States. However, even those associations of Asian countries are negative, and we feel that they're not broad enough to spread out cultural diversity to those who are interested in learning about their background.
Steven, what do you know about the history of Asian Americans or just Asian American figures in U.S. history?
In U.S. history?
Yeah, in U.S. history.
U.S. history. I don't know a single thing about it.
U.S. history today is taught from the Western white male's perspective, leaving out the perspectives and histories of a large variety of different groups of people. And they say, like teachers, history teachers, they often tell their students, we learn about history so we don't repeat mistakes in the past. History informs the present. History helps us make decisions for the future. But how exactly are we supposed to know about how people, different groups of people, function in society together if we don't know their histories? For example, what were Asians doing during the Civil Rights Movement? Were they just kind of sitting by idly in their own schools, getting their own education, being good students, being that model minority stereotype? What were they doing? They were facing very, very similar processes of discrimination. And in fact, they weren't just sitting around idly, just taking it as model minority stereotypes would believe.
In the recent years, budget cuts have affected all students across the state of California.
Do you know how much in dollars was cut from the UC system, from funding?
Not the exact number.
Can you guess, if you were to guess?
Like $1 million.
For the upcoming 2011-2012 school year, Governor Jerry Brown has cut $650 million from the UC system. That is $89 million from UCI specifically. And that caused tuition to increase by 10.5% this past year. I know, right? That's crazy. We could see budget cuts taking effect on campus. We could see it with resources being cut such as LARC. We could see it being cut in the Center for Service and Action. We could see our class sizes getting bigger with less classes being offered. And we could even see our tuition increasing to a staggering $14,000. That's almost 60% more than when I entered UCI, which was like 2 years ago.
Hi. Okay, so do you know what is the fastest growing ethnic minority in California? Or take a guess. Asian Americans are actually the fastest growing ethnic minority. With Asian Americans being the fastest growing population in California, the university should really reflect its population and allow these students to have the education that they deserve to learn more about their history and their culture.
I feel that it's wrong to take those ethnic studies classes away, because I think ethnic studies is important and learning about your identity.
Taking a stand also means that we're not part of the apathetic model minority stereotype. Taking a stand means that we believe that education is a right and not a privilege.
After learning about all this information about the underrepresentation of Asians in education, what can you do to help this cause? First, you can educate yourself. You can educate yourself through research, through your parents asking them about your own history, and even finding resources on campus to learn about yourself.
I learned about my Filipino history just on my own and looking stuff up in high school and being part of a cultural club with that. It's a good way to just get that knowledge into your head. It's not a lot of kids get to do that, but for me it was a big part of it, and that's what kind of taught me who I was and where I came from.
This special program, No History, No Self, was designed specifically for high school students to help educate and encourage them to know about their own cultural and identity. In this program, we use hands-on activities and workshops to promote new ideas and to give different perspectives on history. Through this, we can accomplish our main goal, which is to implement ethnic studies in the school curriculum.
No history, no history, no self.
No history, no
No
self.
history,
No
no
history,
self.
No self.
No history,
No history, no
No
self.
history, no
No
self.
history,
No history,
no
no self.
No history, no self.